they're ready for this. You know what time it is? It's about that time of the week to showcase what you got, the talent that we have. It's a whole lot. You can sing, you can dance, you can rap, you can write. It doesn't matter. You know what time it is? Put your hands in the sky and wave them side to side. Every foot alive. It's Talented Thursday with Kimberly Eichelle. Let's go. I don't think they're ready for this. You know what time it is? It's about that time of the week to showcase what you got, the talent that we have. It's a whole lot. You can sing, you can dance, you can rap, you can write. It doesn't matter. You know what time it is? Put your hands in the sky and wave them side to side. Every foot alive. It's Talented Thursday with Kimberly Eichelle. Let's go.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. Hey, hey, everybody. It's your girl, Kimberly Eichelle, for another week of Talented Thursdays. I'm so glad to have you all here tonight. It is a blessing to always have you all coming in and checking out all this great talent here on Talented Thursdays. And tonight will be no different. I am excited to talk with this gentleman tonight. I was introduced to him by none other than Wylena, the queen of gospel. And this gentleman, he has a story to tell. So come on in, bring a friend. Let me tell you all that there are so many thoughts going through my mind, and I can't wait to get started. But as you're coming in, make sure that you are clicking the like button, the heart button, sharing. Make sure that you subscribe on YouTube, Talented Television with Kimberly Eichelle on YouTube as well, because I want to continue to bring you all great guests week after week. So welcome in to each and every one of you, those who are watching on YouTube, those who are watching on Facebook. You may be watching on Instagram, wherever. You may be listening on Vegas Praise Radio, but welcome in tonight. Thank you all again for another week of support. I have my friend Navell Davis checking in from Tacoma, Washington. Thank you, Navell, for tapping in tonight. He said, I'm just passing through. Well, I appreciate you passing through and tapping in. Go ahead and tell a friend to tap in as well, okay? Blessings to you out there. So I want to give a quick announcement. My sister here in Vegas, Kimberly Bailey, is getting ready for the breast cancer awareness caravan. So as we know, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. It's dedicated to raising awareness and promoting early detection. The 9th annual caravan for mammogram rolls out Saturday, October 4th from Valley Hospital here in Las Vegas. It is free to participate, and complimentary decorations will be provided if you want to join in that caravan. Help drive awareness across the community, you all. For more information, you will call 702-615-8216. Again, all of you that are coming in, I see you coming in. Thank you so much. My thought this week is about being grateful. I was challenged to start a 30-day journal of gratitude. This is actually the second time that this challenge has come to me, but the first time I didn't make it all the way through. Not because I wasn't grateful. It was because I didn't set aside the time to do so. I had so many things on my plate that although I took time to tell God thank you, I didn't seem to have enough time organized in my day for me to just be still. You know how you just need to be still. So I started again, you all, recently. My first 2 days were about family. Family is generally your first set of friends, right? The people who typically love you first and give you tools to help you grow. I like nice things, but I'm more about the little things. It's the little things that matter to me. The simple things, the cards, the phone calls, those type of things mean more to me than anything. So sometimes we get so caught up in what we don't have where we miss what we do have. And it's really about the little things. The little things matter most. So I said all that to say, be grateful, you all. Be grateful for what you have. Begin writing those words of gratefulness and gratitude and watch how things turn around for you. I've had two separate guests come on to talk about that recently. And, you know, their lives were changed. And I believe my life is going to change and yours will change as well as you begin to count your blessings, name them one by one. All right. All right. Navelle Davis said, looking well. Thank you so much. And you said, have a good show. So I appreciate it. Thank you, Navelle. Quila Davis from Tacoma as well is tapping in. Hey, sis. Thank you for tapping in tonight. And I am ready to jump over to talk about tonight's guest. So I hope y'all are ready. You ready? Okay. I heard y'all say, Well, let's go. Tonight's guest has earned the title of an entertainer's entertainer. This talented gentleman possesses a remarkable gift that has taken him to stages all around the world. He's a former member of the legendary group The Platters, known for timeless classics like The Great Pretender, Only You, and one of my personal favorites, Smoke Gets in Your Eyes. He's an original member of the real, y'all hear me? The real Cornell Gunter's coasters. And nowadays you might catch him bringing the house down with hits like Yakety Yak, or he may just surprise you with something like some Barry White. I said he's an entertainer, right? He's much more than just a singer. He's the ultimate performer with smooth vocals and dynamic moves that captivate audiences wherever he goes. Up next, the distinguished gentleman, Mr. Edwin Cook. You're watching Talented Thursdays.
I don't think they're ready for this. You know what time it is? It's about that time of the week to showcase what you got, the talent that we have. It's a whole lot. You can sing, you can dance, you can rap, you can write. It doesn't matter. You know what time it is? Put your hands in the sky and wave them side to side. Every foot alive. Talented Thursday with Kimberly Eichelle. Let's go.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get a drum roll out there. Here we go. Give it up for none other than the amazingly talented Mr. Edwin Cook. Hello. Hey. Thank you so much for coming in today. I appreciate you. How you doing over there?
I'm great. If I were any better, I'd be twins, babe.
I know that's right. Two of y'all, huh?
Hey, double your pleasure, double your fun.
There you go. I'm so glad that you tapped in with me tonight. I count it an honor and a privilege to have someone such as yourself tapping in, coming in to share your story. You know, you are legendary, as I said. And I'm ready to dive into your story tonight. But before we do, on this show, I love for you to rep your city, okay? So you're going to tell us, those that are watching, where you're from and one of the best things or two of the best things about the city that you're from.
Oh, I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana, the Crescent City, home of music. The Mardi Gras, jazz, blues, you name it, New Orleans is known for it. I'm telling you, a lot of things originated in New Orleans. Music, most likely, most of the people around the country got their music from New Orleans, believe it or not. New Orleans where they originated. Yep, and I love it there. And also Mardi Gras, marching bands, you know, you're talking about drumline, New Orleans is the place. I was in a marching band in high school, one of the best, George Washington Carver Senior High School marching band, marching 100. Love it.
There you go. Nobody does it better than New Orleans, as they say, huh?
And you know what? You have to be there to see things that a lot of people don't know about when they go to the Mardi Gras. For instance, the Mardi Gras Indians. A lot of people never heard of the Mardi Gras Indians, and that was a big deal for the locals there. You have to get up really early to see the Mardi Gras Indians. Yeah.
Wow.
So you can look it up on Facebook. On just Google the Mardi Gras Indian. You see some of the best outfits. And just Indians, it's fantastic. I can't even describe it.
Absolutely. What a way to rep your city. You getting the show started well. It's starting off real good, okay? I'm going to jump over to the comments. I have Naomi watching. She said, good to see you, Edwin. Trina Latrice is watching as well. She said, hey, my sister. And Naomi said, New Orleans, the Big Easy.
That's my sister.
Oh, that's your sister. Hello, Naomi. Thank you so much for watching tonight. Yes, that's a blessing. So tell me about growing up in New Orleans. Were you an only child? I don't know if you're an only child or not.
No, I'm the youngest of 5. Well, I'm the youngest. There were 4 boys and 1 girl. The girl you just met, Naomi, just came on. She's right above me.
Wow.
2 years older than I am. So I was the baby.
Yes, indeed. The baby of the bunch. So your family, we had a conversation and you told me that your family had businesses. They had both a grocery store and a record store, which you worked at. So if you got to choose the tunes to play in the store that day, tell me who you would have put the needle on that day.
Well, you know, I grew up when I grew up, I was a falsetto singer. You know, I sang stuff like Blue Magic, Stylistics, Earth, Wind and Fire. I won my first talent show by singing "Keep Your Head to the Sky" by Earth, Wind and Fire.
Come on.
With my group, the Pro Fascinations, at the time, but they're now known as BRW. But we were called the Pro Fascinations at that time. We actually came in 2nd place. Yeah, there was another group that was a little bit flashier than us. Those guys, I got to give them props. They were good.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right. But you all did your thing.
And it was a huge talent show. So we came in 2nd place out of so many groups. It was very exciting.
So who were some of the groups that you enjoyed listening to at that time?
Oh, the Whispers, the OJs. You know, I was strictly rhythm and blues back in those days.
Okay.
The Stylistics, the Dramatics. What you see is what you get. You know, Barry White, Isaac Hayes. There were so many because, you know, I was in the record store.
Right.
I played them all. But mostly I was a falsetto singer until I lost my voice.
Okay. All right. And you said you lost your voice. Was that later on in life?
That was later on. That was actually during my time with the Coasters because I actually had to change my style to fit into the Coaster group. And the Coasters, they didn't need a falsetto singer. And so I started singing my natural voice, which really wasn't as powerful as it should have been. And I basically forced it to, you know, to make sure I made the group. And singing those notes night after night, it took a toll on me. And but you know, being from New Orleans, Desire area, I'm like, I'm making this group. Whatever
Absolutely.
It's gonna take, I'm gonna make it. You know, so.
And you did just that. You know, you did just that. You know, there are some people who can take the lemons and make some lemonade. And so that's what you did, you know?
Exactly.
Yes, indeed. I have Wylena who is over in the comments. Hello, Queen. She said, hello, Miss Kimberly. Let's get this party started. Mr. Edwin Cook, she said, that's my crooner. Looking forward to this tonight. Yes, indeed. We're glad to have you in the building. Wylena, Queen of Gospel.
But that's my girl. I've been knowing her over 40 years now.
Wow, that is amazing. Amazing. And Latoya French is watching from Texas. Hello, Latoya. Thank you so much for tapping in, my friend. I appreciate it. So listen, Edwin, you started singing early on in your career. You told me that you toured with your group, the Sunset Travelers. So you grew up a church boy, right?
I was 12 years old.
12 years old.
And we had one of the hottest young singing groups in New Orleans, and we toured all around Louisiana, basically all around the South, with groups like the Mighty Clouds of Joy, the Swan Silver Tones, the Five Blind Boys of Mississippi, which was one of my favorite groups. They were hilarious to watch. I mean, those guys were comedians, because you would think blind guys wouldn't have choreography, but they had it, and it would have blown your mind. Back in those days, the churches was the place to go see concerts.
Right.
The 60s, concerts in every church you go to. I mean, groups like the Temptations copied their style from those groups.
Oh my goodness. So it came straight from the church, it's in our souls.
Straight from the church.
Yes, indeed. So you were 12 years old when this group was formed. So I know you were listening to music, at home and things like that. But when did you really know that you could sing? Like, I remember once my brother, he came home from school one day and he brought a CD with him and he played it for my mom and I. He had made it at the mall. And we're looking at him like, you could sing? Like, we didn't know. So when did your family find out that Edwin could sing?
Well, I mean, earlier, my mother was a singer. My mother, she never really went out to sing. She also sang in church, and she would practice all during the week. And she would call me in the living room, Edwin, come on in here and sing background for me. And I would go and sing background for her. And she would have company. She would always call me in to come and sing with her. And, before I was even 12. And, that was before I went through puberty. I had this high-pitched voice.
Yeah.
So, and I loved it.
You were able to hit the high notes.
I was able to hit all the high notes.
I love it. Love it. So many people know you as a singer, but you are also a musician. I read that you play drums, keys, brass, and the guitar. You were also a dancer who was known as the Dancing Machine from New Orleans. So tell me about your time spent performing on Bourbon Street and how you've been credited as the one responsible for the twirling French horns that they see at the Saints games.
Well, when I was in high school, like I said, I played the French horn. And French horn was, to me, during the marching season, it was a boring instrument to play because we didn't have the rhythm notes. We didn't have the melodies. We played offbeat, so it was just boring. So we had to do something that was exciting. So we started twirling the horns, and we started twirling the horn. And when you coming down Cornell Street twirling the horn, it just looked like a big ball of fire coming down the street. And you marching in parades. But I was the one that I twirled two, and so one of my friends would give me his horn, and they would open up for me, and I'd come down twirling two horns.
Look at you
with the drum cadences. It was exciting.
Yes, it sounds exciting. Trina Latrice says so much history. Wow. Yes, indeed. And I have evangelist Pamela Kaiser, my auntie. She said, wait a minute, you got some real straight up music tonight. And my beautiful niece is on fire tonight. Yes, Edwin is in the building. The Platters and Coasters, the real Cornell Gunter's Coasters. So yes, great artist in the building tonight. Wylena said he was always light on his feet back in the day and still is. Now, that's true. I saw you perform recently at the Las Vegas Music Awards. So not only do you still have the voice, Edwin Cook, but you are light on those feet as well.
Well, you know what? I had to be light because when I was coming up, I had to run to the dinner table before everybody got...
Because you were the baby, right?
I had to run to the table. My brothers told me dinner was at 5. But dinner was actually at 4.
Oh my goodness. So you say I gotta hurry up and get there. Too funny. I want to play a clip of you actually playing your instrument. I believe you were playing here when the Saints go marching in. Again, you all are watching and listening to Talented Thursdays. This is Mr. Edwin Cook. Yes, indeed. When the saints go marching in. Evangelist Pamela Kaiser said, Mr. Cook, we love you. We
Oh,
love you. Yes, indeed.
thank you so much. You know what? If she loves me, I got a show.
Uh-huh.
I have a show coming up on October 10th at the Firelight Barn. I'll be doing all those songs. Actually, I think that's next week. Well,
Okay.
maybe week after
In
next
about
week.
2 weeks. Yeah.
In about 2 weeks at the Firelight Barn in Henderson, Nevada.
All right, that's good to know. Las Vegas and Henderson. I hope you're listening, or wherever you are. Planes come to Las Vegas all the time. So come and check out Mr. Edwin Cook. Now, look, your sister telling on you here. She said the girls ran after him here in New Orleans, especially when he sung Keep Your Head to the Sky. So that's why you were light on those feet, huh?
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. And Latoya said, amazing, amazing. So I watched one of your highlight reels where you sang song after song after song, and you did it well. I mean, your voice is like it's an instrument basically. You're able to go from the doo-wop sounds to the more modern sounds and things, the soulful R&B, like you said, doing the Barry White. So you are extremely talented. You did a Stevie Wonder impression, you did James Brown, you moonwalked like Michael Jackson,
Yeah.
you tap danced like Sammy Davis Jr., and you sang even a little rock and roll. How did you develop into this ultimate performer? You literally do it all.
Well, you know what? I mean, I appreciate that. I'm not certain that I do it all. I just do my best. And the bottom line is I have fun doing it. You know,
Mm-hmm.
when you have fun, I think there's no limits. You know what I mean? As long as you're having fun.
Right.
I figure if I'm having fun, the people are having fun. You know,
Absolutely. And
I,
we can tell that you're having a good time for sure.
I went to a lot of house parties when I was a teenager. And at that time, before I sang, I was one of those guys that didn't fit in. You know, so I
Okay.
know how it feels to not fit in and not have a good time at a party. So I'm like, I want everybody to have a good time. You know what I mean? You can't have a good time if you're not involved. So you got to get involved.
Absolutely. So you don't want no wallflowers at the party, right?
Nobody. I'm going to come and get you.
I know that's right. Get your back up off the wall.
That's right. I'm going to come and get you.
Yes, indeed. I have Raymond, Uncle Ray Coates. He is a performer, singer in California. He said, hello, Kimberly. This is exciting. Yes, it is. It's truly exciting. Yes, indeed. Thank you for tuning in tonight. I really appreciate it. I am going to show a clip of you, a portion that I grabbed from your highlight reel, because the people need to see some of the things that you do and see how you move on those feet. Again,
Okay.
this is Mr. Edwin Cook.
Church one Sunday morning, and she said, son, mind your manners. I said, Mom, but I don't know what's going on. She said, son, just sit down there and watch your manners. Everything I said, she said, mind your manners. I wanted to get up and dance. After the church, God, by the name of Rick Charles, he took us on the way something like this. I got a woman, real God, that's good to me. Oh yeah, I got a woman, real time, that's good to me. Oh yeah, she give the money when I'm in need. She's my friend indeed. I got a woman, real time, that's good to me. Oh yeah, she said I love you early in the morning, just for me. That ain't right. She said I love you early in the morning, just for me. Oh yeah. She said I love you early in the morning. She's my friend indeed. I
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. None other than the legendary Edwin Cook. But I have one more clip where you really, really moving those feet. Let me go ahead and show that one too, okay?
Okay.
Look at those feet move. Uh-huh.
Where'd you
Y'all
find?
give it up.
Wow.
Yes, indeed. Great video. Those feet were moving, and you went all the way down to the split. So I know you said you want everybody else to have a good time, but I can tell that, the entertainment, it just exudes from you. You make other people happy. And so that's a blessing for sure. A blessing.
Well, it's like I said, if I'm having fun, I think everybody else is having fun too, because it's just a big party, you know what I mean? So it's like that's why I don't think there's any pressure. I don't consider myself a singer. I consider myself a performer. Luther Vandross is a singer.
Uh-huh.
He can sit there and wow you, but I try and do it all, a little comedy, a little dancing, a little singing. When I was with the Platters, I was called the Boogeyman. I had a song called The Boogeyman, and with the Coasters, I was the dancing machine from New Orleans. So I always dance,
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I'm looking at these comments. Uncle Ray said, that's the thing that shows me how to that's the thing that shows me how to entertain the audience. Yes, indeed. He's very much an entertainer. Wylaner said, now that's my boy right there, moving and grooving. You go, Edwin. Yes. And you may not consider yourself a singer per se, but I do. Your voice is amazing. I've heard your voice, and like I said, I saw you even recently, and you hit us with the Barry White. And in my video, I wanted to share because I took the audience view of the video, but they were so loud in there. I heard somebody say, "You better sing. You better sing." I say, "I know that's right." So they were definitely enjoying the Edwin Cook show. So many times, Edwin, people get comfortable with what's familiar. And honestly, oftentimes fear holds us back from reaching our dreams or who we can truly become. So you were already performing in New Orleans and doing your thing there and touring and all of that. Were you ever afraid of, well, I can't say that you were afraid. I guess you were not afraid of leaving your hometown. What ultimately led you to coming to Las Vegas?
Well, as I stated, I was with a group called the Pro Fascinations, and we were a hot group. I mean, in New Orleans, it's so competitive, so many talented groups, and we would always have battle of the bands, and we were one of the top groups. I used to sing a song by Special Delivery. That was a group called, they had a song called I Destroyed Your Love, and The Lonely One. My falsetto, it was on then. I don't have that falsetto now. It's like I went against puberty. I went from the top to the bottom. But anyway, the group was hot, and my brother moved to Vegas, and he said, "Man, you guys ought to come to Vegas because there's so many groups out there that are not as good as you guys. You can come out there and do well." And so half the group came. Myself and my best friend Greg, we came out because the other two guys had some other things that was going on. and I didn't understand it, but I do today. You know, they had some situations where they really couldn't leave, you know,
Right.
and so just two of us came, and my best friend, he ended up going back because he was married, so he couldn't
Okay.
stay here. We went because we hoped the other two guys would come if we came, you know.
Right.
But it didn't happen, so I ended up staying here alone.
Okay.
And I got with a band, and I think I performed with that band maybe 6 months, and I got my audition for the Platters, and I made the Platters and took off from there. I was 21 years old then.
Wow. So you were 21 years old when you became a member of the Platters. Oh, there you are. The Platters' greatest hit. And there you are. Wow.
I
So
am 21 years old.
what was it like to join, you know, with a group that was so iconic? You were the youngest one to ever be a part of that group. Is that correct?
Yeah, everybody was like 25 years older than I was. And, you know,
Wow.
it was a little nerve wracking, but I felt confident because the group that I was in, we did some challenging things. And when I got with the Platters, it seemed like it was so much easier. It wasn't because it was mostly just vocals, harmony. I stood up
Right.
and just moved. You know, it's like I was bored actually singing with the Platters because all I sang was ooh, ooh. The lead singer was the only guy that had words.
Yes.
Everything
Yes.
was ooh, ooh, wow, 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 wow. Really? I said, can I buy a vowel? Oh,
Right.
yes, I'm the great pretender. Woo, woo. That's it. Heavenly shades of night are falling. It's twilight time. That was my part. You know what I mean?
That was your part.
That
Right.
guy, ooh, that guy. I mean, but it was the music was great, but the lead singer was the only one that got to say words.
Right. Absolutely. Wow.
And
So that,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you were gonna say "Smoke Gets in Your Eyes" is your favorite song, right?
Yes.
When
Yes.
the twilight is gone, about and the songbirds are singing,
Right.
I never even had a sweat. You know, it's like, okay, can I say
So
a
you
word?
knew you needed something a little different, right?
I mean, and I love. Don't get me wrong. It was a great group, but I never
Yes.
really got to sing until I did the Boogeyman song.
Wow.
But we did make history. We was the first group in South Africa to perform to multiracial audiences, and that's the late and great Buck Ram who wrote "Only You" and all those songs, and that's us with the mayor of Cape Town in South
Wow.
Africa. And from now on, it's going to be multiracial audiences from then on. You know, this was 1978 during the height of apartheid. So I'm proud of that. That's me back there. You can barely see me. It's so dark.
Oh, you are. Yes, indeed.
That's me right there. Yeah.
Wow, that is awesome. You know, in such a time, you know, like you said, at that time they had apartheid, and for you all to be the first group to kind of break that and be able to perform in front of a multicultural crowd, what did that feel like? I mean, it had to be amazing. Were you afraid? What was that like?
Well, I was excited just to be in Africa, South Africa at that time. You know, I mean, Johannesburg, Cape Town, Port Elizabeth, East London, Durban, all those places were on the beach. And, you know, the blacks couldn't go the places that the whites went. So I was kind of frustrated, and I started acting like a Martin Luther King over there.
Right.
I would literally go walk into a restaurant because I knew blacks weren't allowed. But when I pulled out my passport, everything was fine. But it was just kind of frustrating to see that we couldn't go. And I think I had a lot of blacks that were afraid when I walked in because they thought it was going to be a problem. But when they found out I was an American, everything was fine.
Wow. Yeah. Right.
But
yes,
I
indeed.
was
So
literally
when you
called.
all hit that stage, what was the feeling like? You know, how did that feel?
It's amazing how the music is just international. They love the
Yes.
music wherever we went. Blacks, whites, everybody. They all loved it. They all knew the Platters. Everywhere we went, Thailand, Germany, they all knew the Platters. And whether they spoke the language or not, they could sing it in that language. They could sing
Right.
the Platters song. It was crazy.
And that's the thing about music, you know, it goes through boundaries. When people try to put a boundary up, you know, it goes through languages and cultures
Right.
and so many things, you know. So I just think that's wonderful. Your sister said he toured the world with the Platters. Indeed. What was one of your favorite places? Of course, South Africa, but where else sticks out in your mind as being one of the places that you traveled?
Oh, it was several. Thailand, Bangkok, Thailand
Mm.
was a great place because I went over there. I had to buy new luggage coming back because they can make you a suit, entire suit in one day.
Wow.
You go get measured in the morning and pick the suit up, and it was crazy. I think I
Oh my
had maybe 10 suits made. When I came back, I was sharp. You
God.
know, one day
Yes.
it took them to make a suit.
Oh my goodness.
And so
Yes, indeed.
I started to try and speak the language and speak to everybody. And of course,
Hmm.
at that time, you didn't see many blacks over there. So when we walked down the street, it was like we were like, everybody was following us. It was crazy.
Absolutely. Yes, indeed. It has to feel good, you know, that what you do moves so many people. And not only that, what you do has taken you around the world. There are places that you have seen that others may never be able to experience, you know,
Yeah.
in the military, maybe. But other than that, a lot of people don't get to travel the way that you have traveled. So, what a blessed life and a blessed experience that you have had thus far, because I truly believe that there's more to come, you know.
I'll tell you one thing. I'm just going to touch on this once again about South Africa. I wish we
Hmm.
had cell phones back in those days because we went to
Mm,
all the mines, the gold mines and diamond mines, and all the different tribes. They worked in the mines, you know, and then they
right.
would come out. They would come out and they would entertain us, and they would put
Wow.
on their suits and their attire, and they would come out and do the dances. And it was like, I just wish I had video footage. It was just amazing. Especially the Zulu tribe was so amazing. It
Oh
was
my
they were
goodness.
so powerful, so big and powerful. I'm like,
Right.
it was just fantastic. I tell you.
Yes, what an experience. What an experience for sure. I have Estella John Simmons. She is dropping in. She's actually an artist out of Tacoma, Washington, but she's in Atlanta right now. I want to say congratulations to her because she was nominated for an award for her music. So thank you for tuning in tonight, Estella. And again, congratulations to you as well. So after singing with the Platters for several years, you took a break.
Yeah,
From
yeah.
there, you ended up as an original member. Original member. I'm gonna slow down so they can hear me. Of the real Cornell Gunter's Coasters.
That's right.
So first, I want you to tell me how you met Cornell.
Here's
Um,
here's Cornell right here.
wow, there's Cornell.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Well,
Yes.
I was
But
actually
tell
working.
me how you all met and what you enjoyed most about performing with him.
Well, it was different from the Platters because we actually did a lot of choreography, and all of the
Hmm.
tunes were up yakety yak yakety yak for the
Yes.
ride, and I was loving it. But I met Cornell. I was actually working in room service on the Strip at the Dunes Hotel,
Hmm.
and a friend of mine, he told me, he said, "Man, I met this guy from the Coasters, and they're looking for a singer, and I'm gonna give you his number." And I'm like, "Really?" And I wasn't really too familiar with the Coasters songs,
Okay.
but I heard of the group.
Right.
And so I called Cornell. Cornell is really flamboyant.
Hmm.
He's out there. Great
Yes.
guy, great guy. So I called him, and he says, I'm gonna show you. He says, "Honey, are you a singer?" I said, "Yeah, Cornell, I'm a singer. But honey, listen, I've got some shows coming up at the Sands. You can come over and audition, and we'll see what happens." I'm like, "Okay." So I went
Right.
over. I went over to his house. I'm like, "Wow, this guy looks familiar. I know I've seen him on American Bandstand on all these
Uh-huh.
shows because he looked the same." I'm like, "Wow." And so he gave me
Wow.
some songs to sing, and I sang them. And he says, "Honey, be here tomorrow. We're gonna start rehearsing." And I'm like, "Wow." So
How awesome is that, right?
I
It's
had to
something
learn.
about just being in the right place at the right time, you know?
I had to learn 3 shows in 1 week to start at the Sands,
Wow. Oh
and
my goodness. That is
we
something else.
we opened up at the Sands. It was the Coasters, the
Mhm.
Imperials, and the Checkmates. And James Brown was in the main room, and there was
Oh,
people
wow.
everywhere in the Sands. I mean, it's like walking through like sardines. There was so many people everywhere because it was so entertainment was so great back in those days. You know,
Right. It was the place to be, right?
the strip was so different. The Las Vegas strip was so different.
Yeah. Tell me about those years. What differs? Like you said, it was different. How is it different today from then, from
Okay,
yesteryear?
I tell you a lot of stuff. It's like really actually when the mob ran the place, things were so much better in my opinion.
Okay.
But when corporations took over, everything changed. Okay, for an example, like today, computers have taken over. When you
Hmm.
walk into the casinos back in those days, they had a change person, they had a keno person, they had a cigarette person. I mean,
Right.
people to come and take your photos, you know, or whatever, because you couldn't take photos back in those days in the casinos. They would take your camera.
Mm.
Photos weren't allowed. And guess what?
Right.
There were no homeless people in Vegas because everybody got fed. You can walk into a casino and walk up to the magazine stand and get what was called a fun book.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you grab a fun book, it's like a coupon book. They had
Okay.
free money in there
Wow.
because they wanted you to start gambling. You got $2 worth of nickels.
Right.
If you grab five, you got $10.
Wow.
Then they had a free meal over here, free cigarettes. Everything was free, you know. So you go free eat at this casino for free. So you
Mm-hmm.
know, and they didn't mind. You can walk in there, just grab a handful, and
Right.
then it was like all money was good money. Anybody can come in there and spend money. They didn't question it.
Right.
You know, today you have to. They question everything. Sign this for taxes, etc. But the mob was like, just play it. $10,000, play it. $20,000, play it.
Uh-huh.
Not today.
Wow.
And
Totally
then
different, right?
and also the lounges were like showrooms because you had to have a jacket to go in the lounge. You
Mm.
had to be seated. You couldn't walk in there with tennis shoes on. Everybody had on suits and tuxedos, and
Right.
it was like a movie.
What a
It's
sight to see at that time, right?
so different, so different.
Yes.
You couldn't walk into a lounge without a jacket. If you didn't have one, they would provide you with one.
Wow.
They had extra jackets. Here, put this on. Now you can go in.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. That is so amazing to hear the stories of how things have changed, and that had to be a time to be alive, because at that time, Vegas is always lights and glitz and all of those things. But at that time, it just seemed like it was so much more glamorous. Like you
It
said,
was. It was.
like you said, jackets, and I'm sure the ladies had their dresses on and hair
Man,
done,
listen.
you
You
know.
would you would see the ladies with these gowns on and the jewelry, the pearls, and you know everything was just so extravagant. It
A
was like, wow,
glamorous life.
look at her, look at this guy, and you might see a movie star walking down. You know, people
Right.
walking with him with their entourage. The first person I met was Joe Louis, the fighter. When I first
Mm,
he worked at Caesar's Palace as a greeter. He greets you as soon as you come in. Hi, I'm Joe Louis. Come on in and have a good time. You're
wow.
like, wow. You know, his hands were like stone. But I met everybody, the Pointer Sisters,
Yes.
Frankie Avalon, just all the singers, entertainers, Frank Sinatra, Sammy Davis. I met them all.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. What an experience. What an
Yeah, yeah,
experience.
yeah.
Let's see. So, performing with the Coasters, I want to show a clip of you. Let me see if I can grab it actually, where you all were on the Jerry Lewis telethon back
Okay,
in the day. So let me see if I can show that. Give me one moment.
okay.
I want to bring that up. And let's see. Here we go.
Yakety yak, yakety yak. Yakety yak, yakety yak. Yakety yak, yakety yak. Yes, yakety yak.
Well,
What
you
you
know
say?
what?
Don't. Uh-huh.
You know what? Funny, I said, I hope she don't bring up that one because everybody's mic was off but mine. Oh, you can only hear me going yakety yak yakety on that one note.
Okay, got you.
Cornell's mic was
Yes.
off, and we were supposed to be off by that time. That's why we just kept saying yakety yak. Because Jerry Lewis was walking around, already going crazy. And we
Yes,
had
he
to stand up
was.
there going yakety yak over and over and over until he came back.
Okay, got you. When he came
And
back into the scene.
until he came back
Yes.
to the scene, it's like,
It
wow.
looks like you all were having a ball. I watched the top of that clip. Jerry Lewis was something else, and so I saw him interacting with you all. And then I was watching Cornell as well. And I said, I can tell that he was a character. So I know you all had some good times, right?
Listen, he was the funniest person I ever met in my life.
Wow.
In my life. He was such a good guy. I mean, it took me a while to get used to him. But he was the funniest guy I've met in my life, and very respectful. Very respectful, and one of the best entertainers I've ever met. Believe me, I learned so much from him. So much from him.
Yes, indeed. So you all, the Coasters, I believe, were the first group inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1987. Is that correct?
That's absolutely right. Yep.
Yes, indeed. What was that like? What was that night? What did it feel like?
Well, actually, I wasn't there because it was only the originals. And I sang with two originals, but the other guys had their own groups.
Okay.
So I was with Cornell. We were actually playing Las Vegas. So Cornell had to leave to go get the award. We were playing at the Flamingo. And we were opening that next night at the Flamingo. And they were supposed to come back the next night, but they got snowed in.
Oh, wow.
So I had to open up by myself.
Oh, wow.
Flamingo, I'll never forget that night. I must have sang Earth Angel for 20 minutes.
You say they gonna be here.
Hey, they come in. I had to do the whole first show by myself. And then the second show, they finally made it.
Oh my goodness. Well, what's an entertainer? Because to be able to hold down a ballroom or showroom full of people, that is something else. So kudos to you on that. So I want to shift gears a little bit because, we talked about all the fun things and the happy times, but there have also been some experiences that you have had in this industry, that, let's just be honest, didn't feel so good. I came across a 2007 Scene article by Pete Kitts, I believe, that shed light on a troubling issue in the R&B music world, specifically about legacy groups being scammed. Right. The article highlighted how over 3 decades, so 30 years, promoter Larry Marshak allegedly booked and managed counterfeit versions of iconic groups like the Marvelettes, the Drifters, the Platters, and the Coasters. It was noted that Marshak had even gone as far as to acquire or exploit trademarks for these group names. From what I understand, you hold the rights to the name Cornell Gunter's Coasters now, and yet groups affiliated with Marshak continue to tour under similar names. So they're making, different names and revising the names so that they can be able to tour, but they should not be able to do that. So how has that affected you, both personally and professionally?
Well, the old saying, we live by the golden rule. He who has the gold, he rules. So Marshak came to us. Okay, I'm going to give it to you. 1990, Cornell Gunter passed away.
Okay.
Also, Buck Ram passed away. Buck Ram was the guy that had the Platters. I showed him to you. And when those guys died, these guys moved in. And, when they have money, they can go over here and rent a showroom, and put their groups in. So now this guy's got 10 groups. He's got groups all around the country. Here's a group playing in New York. Here's a group playing in Florida. How am I supposed to get work like that? I couldn't compete. We went to court and I won. It took me 3.5 years to pay an attorney. I won, but I couldn't get gigs because he had his gigs, his groups everywhere. Now these guys are great performers, but neither one of them can show a picture performing with Cornell Gunter, but they say they're Cornell Gunter's coasters. You know,
and there you are with Cornell.
I have video footage. I have the federal court documents. There's a group coming in town next week, next month at the Samstown, and there's nothing I can do. Cornell Gunter's coasters. Now you go up to these guys and say, "Did you sing with Cornell?" No. Can you show me a picture? No. But because this guy has money, he puts his groups everywhere, and they travel coasters, platters, drifters all around the world, and it just put me out of work. I couldn't compete against that.
Oh my goodness!
You know what I mean? And there was some guys that fought him back because they were original guys that hadn't passed away. You know,
right?
Like one of the original drifters, and it was actually on 60 Minutes. Where he walked up and said, how do you become a drifter? And it was on 60 Minutes. And the guy said, well, I just got hired. These guys, they didn't know what was going on. They just know they got in a drifter group. And these guys are good entertainers, you know, but they weren't legal. They didn't have they put me out of work.
Oh, my goodness.
I actually had to stop singing for quite a while because I just couldn't afford to deal with it, you know.
Right. Absolutely. So with that being said, you know, like you said, it's hard for you to fight on your own. What is something that you wish you could do, or if you could get the support, how can people support you in getting you back to the stage as one of the original real Cornell Gunter singers?
You know what? I used to always have a vision that said I'd like to meet somebody like a Floyd Mayweather. Or one of these guys that's got money and say, look, we're going to put you in the showroom here with your group, and we're going to put your information out there so people can see, you know, with my video, with me with Cornell, my people, you know, but I had somebody behind me with money as well, you know, but these guys were multi-millionaire attorneys, and they know how to get between the cracks and get away with this stuff. It's like, you know, my friends would call me from New Orleans and say, you guys are playing here tomorrow night. I'm like, nope, it's not my group. At the same time, here's a group in New York, here's a group in Vegas. So these guys will put together 10, 15 groups at a time and just, I mean, coasters, platters, drift, and just rape the name.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Wow. How do you fight that? How do you fight that?
Yeah. You know, it's unfortunate, and I'm so sorry, you know, that happened to not only the coasters and the platters, but all of those, you know, legendary groups that made a name, you know, working hard, because first of all, in those years, it wasn't easy to get into the music industry. Like you said, there were so many talented people, even at that time, that for you to break through means that there was something truly special about you, you know? So, I'm so sorry. And if there is anyone who's watching or listening, you know, we don't know who's watching or listening at this time, but there could be someone who could help. And if you can, I admonish you and ask you to reach out to Mr. Cook. You can find him on Facebook under Edwin Cook or the Edwin Cook Show. And not only for that, I mean, if you are still performing. So like you said, you have an event that's coming up. So again, tell me where that event is and where we can come to see you.
Okay, I'm performing at the Edwin Cook Show, and it's in Henderson, Nevada at the Firelight Barn. And I actually started singing again about a year ago because, like I told you, I lost my voice. I have a paralyzed vocal cord. You know, so I lost a lot of my vocals. And I got a job for 10 years and stopped singing. I worked at Red Lobster because I couldn't fight these guys anymore. You know, I lost so much by trying to fight. And about a little over a year ago, I said, you know what? I'm just going to come back and give it all I got. I don't sing like I used to, but I can still entertain people. I'm going down swinging. So now I'm going to start putting my information out there again, because thanks to people like you and Facebook, Google, all these places, now I can put my information out there, and hopefully it'll help me out.
Absolutely. I hope so too. And I'm so glad that you're back Raymond, Uncle Ray Coates said, I know just what he's talking about. Absolutely. You know, it can be hard in the music industry on all sides, you know, and that's the thing, you know, people think that it's only one division of the music industry. No, if you are not careful, if you don't have your business in order, and as you know, even sometimes when you do, it can still be hard. So you have to know that this is something that you are truly called to do, something that you really love, that will allow you to keep going, you know, when things like this happen. So I commend you for getting back up and saying, I'm going down fighting. You know what I'm saying? Because I believe that you are called to be an entertainer. And I know, you know, wherever you were, whether it was the hotel industry, whether it was in the restaurant, you know, industry, I'm sure they loved you there. But you need to be on the stage. And so I am so glad that you are getting back out there and that you are allowing your voice to be heard and that you are still using those moves and you're going down swinging. Do not stop, Mr. Cook, because you are excellent at what you do. So I hope you all just start dropping hearts in the comments for him to let him know that he is loved, that he is appreciated, and that we do need entertainers such as yourself. A lot of times, especially I don't want to get into the new artists and, you know, artists who have come before them and things like that, as far as too many of the differences. But what I can say is you all were real singers. You could not be programmed. Your voices weren't programmed to be something else or do something else, or okay, in the studio we gonna nudge this a little bit or whatever the case is. Nothing wrong with that. But what I'm saying is you had to have true talent to be in the entertainment industry, and that's exactly what you have. So keep going. Keep going. Yes, indeed. I'm going to jump over into the comments just right quick. Wylena said, we got your back, Edwin. Yes, indeed. We got your back.
That's my girl.
Yes. Raymond, Uncle Ray Coates said there is a promoter here, Rico Lane. Reach out to him. Tell him Uncle Ray sent you. So again, for you, Edwin, and for maybe your management, if they're watching, a promoter named Rico Lane. He is out of California. Reach out to him. Tell him Uncle Ray sent you. And Uncle Ray, please send a message over to Edwin's inbox. DM him so he can have that information as well. Wylena said, what the Father has for you is for you. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. Amen. Preach, Wylena. Naomi said, the Edwin Cook Show at the Firelight Barn in Henderson, October 10th at 6 p.m. You all show up and show out. And Uncle Ray is dropping those blue hearts for you. Indeed. Go ahead and hold that card up. Let me see what you have. Edwin Cook, artist and producer. For those of you who want to get in contact with Mr. Cook, he has a hotline number, 702-449-2761. Again, 702-449-2761 for those of you who are listening on the radio. Also, Edwin Cook Sr. at gmail.com. He has a website as well, www.edwincook.com, and on Facebook at the THEE Edwin Cook Show. All right, that's it. You all know how to contact him, send him love, encouragement, all of those great things. I hope that you just continue to rise.
Well, let me just say something.
Yes, please do.
I got special people that works with me, and right now, my backbone is Bibbs Talent. I got to give Bibbs Talent a shout out. Miss Deborah Bibby, who's been working with me so hard, and she's been cracking the whip on me. She's one of the people that you got to come back. And she says, I got your back. And she's been, all my videos, everything you see on, that's her.
Wow.
And doing all the work. So Bibbs Talent. And shout out to you, Miss Deborah Bibby, who's got my back. And you can also, I don't want to put her number out there, but maybe she don't want it. But like I said, you can reach out through this number as well. But because of her, I came back, and she's been having my back ever since.
Well, thank you so much, Miss Bibby, for standing in the gap because we need artists like this today, not only to entertain, but we need your knowledge. You know, in this industry, we need some of your knowledge. You have gone on before so many, and like I said, legendary. So you got to keep going and teach those that are coming up behind you how to be classy and elegant men in performance, you know, how to truly entertain. I want to give a shout out as well before we leave. Maurice Maddox is watching. He said Talented Thursdays in the building. I want to shout you out, Maurice. He goes by Running Man. He has been helping me. And I appreciate you in helping to promote Talented Thursdays, Running Man. So if y'all see him reaching out, that means he thinks that I need to see you. So thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Let's see. We still have the hearts coming in as well. Trina Latrice sending you love from California. Wylena giving you hearts from here in Las Vegas. Your sister Naomi, she said, I love you, bro. I love that. Support your brother. My mom is tuning in. Hey, mom. She said, hold on to your faith. She's talking to you, Mr. Cook. Hold on your faith, things will work out. Yes, they will. Yes, they will. And Debbie Bibby said, hey, Edwin.
That's my girl right there.
You did a great interview. Say it again. I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
That's my girl. I call her the Bibaliski.
Uh-oh, the Bibaliski is in the building.
She's gonna kill me now. She's gonna kill me now.
Yes, indeed. Yes. Tell me before we go, just right quick, tell me 2 songs that make you happy. Give me 2 songs that make you happy.
You know what? Listen to this. Can you hear that?
Yeah.
Listen. What a day this has been. What a rare mood I'm in. Why, it's almost like being in love. There's a smile on your face for the whole human race. And it's almost like being in love. All the music of life seems to be like a bell that is ringing for me. And from the way that I feel when that bell starts to peal, I would swear I was falling. Swear I was falling. It's almost like being in love. You want me to finish?
Oh, yes.
Now, this is the part where I usually sing. I usually dance on this part.
Oh, you're moving those feet.
I'm usually dancing on this part.
Yes.
That's Nat King Cole, in case you didn't know.
Okay. And what's the name of that song?
Almost like being in love.
Almost like being in love. You sounding good,
All
Mr.
the
Cook.
music of life seems to be like a bell that is ringing for me. And from the way that I feel when that bell starts to peal, I would swear I was falling. Swear I was falling. It's almost like being in love.
Hey, hey. Woo-wee. Mr. Cook. Yes. You made my evening. Thank you so much. I'm going to jump to the comments just right quick as we roll out of here. Debbie Bibby said, you did a great interview. Yes, indeed, he did. Wylena, thank you, Kimberly, for a great show. Edwin, we all love you. Much love. From Wylena, the Las Vegas queen of gospel. Thank you so much. Thank you, Wylena. Debbie said, wait till you see where Edwin will be in 6 months. Just watch. Y'all better come back, Debbie. You better come back to Talented Thursdays. I believe that he's on his way up for sure. And Trina Latrice was dancing as you were singing, okay? We all want to be in love out here. Thank you so much. Any final words before we go?
Well, no, I just want to thank you for this interview because it really lifted me as well, because it gave me a chance to tell my story, which I've been silent for the last maybe 12, 13 years. And
Wow.
somebody told me, okay, you need to just start fighting back, not by trying to attack them, but just being who you are. And so you started it off right here, Miss Kimberly Eichelle, and I appreciate you so much.
Yes, thank you. That means a lot to me. And I'm so glad to have met you and have the opportunity to share your story tonight. You are amazing. I believe you have a heart of gold. And like Debbie said, in 6 months, the world better watch out. Okay. Watch out. So for those of you who have watched on tonight, I appreciate each and every one of you again for tuning in to Talented Thursdays each and every week. If you are interested in being a guest on the show, please email me at talentedtelevision@gmail.com. Again, talentedtelevision@gmail.com. Until next time, you all be blessed, and we will see you when we see you. All right? Bye. One more comment. Let's see. Oh, Naomi, she said, thanks, Kimberly, for the show. You're welcome, Naomi. And thank you for sharing your brother with the world. With the world. We'll see you all next time. Be blessed. Bye.
Thank you for watching. Please support by subscribing to Talented Television on YouTube.